Hamas and Israel have a complex and often volatile relationship that spans several decades. Hamas, an Islamist political and military organization, was founded in 1987 in the midst of the First Intifada. The group's primary objective is the establishment of an independent Palestinian state, with Jerusalem as its capital. Hamas has engaged in armed resistance against Israel, including suicide bombings and rocket attacks. Israel, on the other hand, sees Hamas as a terrorist organization and has launched military operations to counter its activities. The relationship between the two has been characterized by periods of conflict, ceasefire agreements, and failed peace negotiations. Hamas gained popularity in the late 1980s as an alternative to the secular Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO. In 2006, Hamas won the Palestinian legislative elections, which led to an international boycott and political isolation of the group. The Israeli government considers Hamas a threat to its national security and has imposed a blockade on the Gaza Strip, where Hamas is in power. The blockade has resulted in severe economic and humanitarian hardships for the people living in Gaza. Israeli airstrikes and ground invasions have targeted Hamas infrastructure and leadership positions. Efforts to broker a lasting peace between Hamas and Israel have been challenging due to the group's refusal to recognize Israel's right to exist. The recent wave of violence in Gaza in 2021 has once again highlighted the strained relationship between Hamas and Israel. Hamas fired rockets at Israeli cities, and Israel responded with airstrikes, causing significant casualties on both sides. The situation has sparked international condemnation and renewed calls for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. In recent years, there have been intermittent negotiations and ceasefire agreements between Hamas and Israel. However, these agreements have often been short-lived, leading to renewed hostilities and a deepening of the divide between the two sides. The root causes of the conflict between Hamas and Israel are deeply rooted in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the ongoing occupation of Palestinian territories. The issue of settlements, borders, and the status of Jerusalem remain major sticking points in any potential peace negotiations. The relationship between Hamas and Israel is further complicated by regional and international dynamics, including the involvement of other countries like Iran and the United States. The situation in Gaza, where Hamas is in power, has created divisions among Palestinians, with some viewing Hamas as freedom fighters and others as impediments to peace. The future of the relationship between Hamas and Israel remains uncertain, with neither side showing a willingness to compromise their core demands.